Hi there. The subject of this video is going to be how to make a DIY CO2 generator to attract mosquitoes to your bug trap or bug zapper. And I'm going to do a TLDW right here up front and try to give you everything that you need to know to do this in about 2 minutes. Then if you want the details on how to optimize and catch rates and results and things like that, you can watch it afterward. So down here in the shade, we see the CO2 generator. And you can see it bubbling out CO2 there in the bubble counter on the left. And all it is a gallon jug with about 3/4 of a gallon of water, 2 cups of sugar, and a half tablespoon of yeast mixed up in it. And within about 30 minutes, that starts bubbling, and the reaction, the fermentation, causes CO2 to be generated. The CO2 runs through the long tube in the water bottle on the left there, and that's basically just a counter so you can see how well it's running and when you might need to replace it. And the gas then runs out of the top of that through this 1/4-inch tube, which I got at Ace Hardware, and ends up here at the Dynatrap, which is the trap that I have. You can use a bug zapper or even a fan with a screen on it just to catch the mosquitoes up against it. But the CO2 comes out of this little end of the tube here, and I cut the finger off of an old cotton glove and zip tied that on there so ants and other bugs can't get in and clog the tube. But it's as simple as that, and it produces enough CO2 to emulate, say, the breathing of a small animal for 4 or 5 days before it runs out and you have to replenish it. And it really helps with the mosquito catch here. I've tried octanol lures and the lures that come with the Dynatrap, none of them work in this area. In Florida, where we have the southern house mosquito, they're even repelled by some of those. The only universal attractant is CO2, which is what we're producing here. And as a bonus here, you can see it on the side of let me see if I can get a close-up of this. This little lure here, I 3D printed this. And this lure holds lactic acid and water, a 50-50 mix of that on the left. So we had a liquid on the left and a powder that's ammonium bicarbonate on the right. And the ammonium bicarbonate, I don't know if you can see through the little slots there. The slots are to give it air. The liquid goes up to, on the left side there, liquid goes up to almost the slots on the top. And the powder on the right side is just stuffed into another one of these fingers from a cotton glove and stuffed down in there, top folded over, and the little caps on the top placed on. And that combination of lactic acid and the ammonium bicarbonate simulates sweat, so it helps increase the catch rate. The CO2 here draws them in, and the kind of sweat odor here, and you can't smell it from here. It's not like it's going to smell up your house or something, and the CO2 doesn't smell either, but it gets the mosquitoes attracted up to the trap, and they're attracted in there. And with this setup, I catch anywhere between 20 and 50 a night, depending on conditions and whether or not the county has just sprayed and things like that. With the lures that you can get from, available online or publicly, I never caught any mosquitoes. In this way, with the CO2 and this lure that I made myself, and I'll put the STL file, if you have a 3D printer, I'll put the STL file for this little contraption here that just hooks into the side in the description, along with all the ingredients. And that's basically all you need to know to make this thing. Now, if you want to hang around to see things like catch rates and what you can do to boost your fermentation so that it bubbles even faster, and what types of water work best, things like that, stay tuned. Okay, I'm going to try to be quick showing you this setup because it's really a pretty simple setup. What I did was I took this gallon jug here, and one extra thing that I did was I drilled a 1/4-inch hole in the jug and put a piece of duct tape over it. And that just serves as a pressure relief. In case something gets clogged, I didn't want this spewing out everywhere, so I figured this would fail first. That's optional, you can do that if you want. But basically what we have is, in the fermentation jug here, the tube is cut close to the cap, so it only goes down about this far because you don't want it sucking liquids in or pushing liquids out. And that tube goes over here into the cap of this bottle. It's just a plastic bottle. You can use any kind of plastic bottle. I like to have a clear one so I can see the bubbles coming out. But the tube comes out of the top here and goes all the way down to the bottom down there. And I cut it at an angle on the bottom. Same type of tube. But you want the one coming out of the big jug here to go down to the bottom here so that it bubbles up. And the output that goes to the Dynatrap or to your trap, whatever it may be, you want it to cut again like this jug. You want that one up here close to the top. I'll take this off and show you. All it is when I say close to the cap, I mean cut it like that, close to the cap. And I just put some caulk around it just to make sure there's no leaks. If you drill the hole in the caps smaller, a little bit smaller than the tube, this is 1/4 inch tube from Ace Hardware. If you drill the hole a little bit smaller, it'll fit in there pretty snug anyway. And you probably wouldn't even have any leaks without the caulk on it. On this one, I don't know if I can get it off with, yeah, I guess I can. On this one, you'll see that, like I said, the one that comes out of the cap here, it goes down into the bottom of the water jug so that it can bubble up. And the output, this is the output here, is up by the cap so that no liquid comes out. So that's how that works. Okay, back inside in the AC here, we can talk about the specifics a little bit. I did keep a lot of data here when doing this, like catch rates and what I found in the basket. I would dump the basket over the course of one night and see what I had in it, count the mosquitoes. And I tried different types of batches to get the best fermentation in the jug, to get the highest CO2 output for the longest time. And what I can tell you right up front is don't use RO water. I started out by using water right out of the tap, and we're on a well here, and that worked fine. But I tried RO water, which is, reverse osmosis water is pretty clean water. It has very little minerals in it, but it ended up being too pure. And the yeast actually started up the process and you could see it bubbling, but it died after just a few hours, maybe 12 to 15 hours. That batch died. And apparently the yeast cells can burst if they don't have the right minerals and you use water that's too pure. So I would stay away from RO water. Just use water out of the tap. The other thing that I found was, for me, 2 cups of sugar worked well and 1/2 tablespoon of yeast worked well. So you can just start with lukewarm water and add the sugar in, give that a mix. It mixes up pretty easily. And then you put the yeast in and mix that up. Just shake the jug with a spare cap that you have sitting around, or with just your hand over it, whatever you feel like doing. And that will get everything mixed up really well. And then, you put some water in the clear jug so that you get bubbles and you can tell how well the reaction is doing and when you might need to replenish it. And on both bottles, leave about 4 inches of air in the top, because you don't want the foam building up in the big jug or the bubbles, bubbling up liquid into the other one. So leave about 4 inches of air in the top of both jugs. And that'll get you going. Now, if you on city water or something like that, and you might have chlorine in your water, you can get a dechlorinator. They can just put a couple drops of that in there to take the chlorine out, because you don't want chlorine in the water. That might sanitize it, get rid of the yeast, kill the yeast. So I'll leave a link to that in the description. And there's also something called yeast nutrients. You can buy various types of yeast boosters, but it's nutrients that help the yeast, the minerals that the yeast need to live. You can use that too. Those are kind of bonuses that if you want to kind of supercharge the batch. I got a link to that too in the description. Not really needed, but you can use it. And after about 4 or 5 days, you'll find that the bubbles will usually be about 1 per second during the good part of the run. And toward the end, maybe 4 days, it'll get down to a bubble every 2 seconds. And at that point, I like to just dump it and start a new batch. And keep in mind that the byproducts here are CO2, which we want for the mosquitoes, and a little bit of alcohol, which is also a byproduct. The yeast will make a little bit of ethanol in there too. And no matter what it smells like, it's not safe for human consumption. That's not what this project is about. Just dump that out and make a new batch. dump it out responsibly. I haven't found any issue with dumping it into septic or sewer systems. There's not enough yeast in there. It's basically a food byproduct, so shouldn't be any problem with dumping it. Rinse out the jug really well and start a new batch. So that's basically the process here, and what to expect, and some do's and don'ts. The don't use distilled water or water that's too pure, because that definitely killed the yeast. I was surprised at that. But this whole project, it came out of the need for a way to generate CO2 that won't, break the bank. It won't make my wallet so much lighter. And some of these mosquito traps that use propane tanks, they're really expensive to run, and they actually burn a small flame inside, and they last only a few months, and then you've got to do maintenance on them. It's just a nightmare. So I didn't want to deal with that. And this produces a surprising amount of CO2, and it lasts for quite a while. Like I said, 4 or 5 days. And it's really simple. It takes 5 minutes to make up a new batch. So hopefully this will help you catch more mosquitoes. And like I said, the CO2 is a universal mosquito lure. The commercial lures, none of them work at all here in Florida where I am. They may work for you, different parts of the world. I can't speak to that, but it definitely doesn't work here. And CO2 will work anywhere. And when you supplement it with the lactic acid and ammonium bicarbonate, which, links to those are in the description too, that seems to kind of put the icing on the cake and enhance the catch a little bit more, maybe 10-20% more. So this really worked for me. Hope it helps you. Thanks for watching.